Hey, this is Adam with ARAC Roof It Forward. I'm at an older 3-tab roof in Austell. I do believe it is the original roof. I'm seeing a little bit of wind damage up here. Not so much hail or anything like that. A little bit of dings on the soft metals, but I'll show you that in a minute. And then quite a bit of just some maintenance and upkeep concerns. But to start with, let me show you some storm damage. This is an example of wind damage, a wind creased shingle. It's not missing yet, but if you see that dark crease at the top, it's just showing where the shingle is freely lifting, flapping back in the wind and causing that crease. Insurance companies are going to treat a wind creased shingle like that, just like a missing shingle. You've got another one down here. This one was starting up. It just lifts very freely. There's no, a normal shingle would be pulling back down or sealed completely. You can see how rusted that nail is. And that's just going to show where it's been lifted, flapping, and allowing water up in there. That shingle in particular draws my attention because the low slope on this little roof right here. See how steep this one is? I'll show you. Versus that. So the water's going to sit on that just a little bit longer to allow it to back up. A couple more wind crease shingles. They're mainly on the front of the house. I didn't see any really on the back. There's another bad one. You can just see that wind crease where it's just lifting, allowing water to get up in there, start to rust those nails. A few more wind crease shingles over there. Down here you have a nail pop. That's a maintenance concern, so insurance would not cover that as wear and tear maintenance. You can just see right here, the shingles are starting to lift. They're sealed down. I don't want to break the seal, but they're starting to lift right here. You can see from the nails backing out underneath. That's pretty common. Standard maintenance package would cover that. This shingle, to me, it looks like it has a pretty distinct crease at the top, but it is very sealed down. So it could just be from granular loss, unless they've had some kind of maintenance package already done where somebody caulked some shingles down. Looks like you had some nail holes or something here that they caulked, and the caulk is just starting to dry rot. That's pretty common. You see that about every 5 to 10 years, caulk goes bad. You're seeing it on all the vents. All these vents, the nail heads are starting to become exposed. You can just see the caulk dry rotting away. Here. So all those exposed nail heads could potentially be leaks. That pipe boot over here, there's no rain collar on it. So a rain collar would just sit around this right here to protect it from dry rot. It's not dry rotted yet. Starting to on the edge right here. You probably have a little bit of life left in that, but the nails do need to be caulked. Tree, I see this more often than not. The trees are allowed to grow up onto the roof. Homeowners just don't know how nasty those branches can be if they start to grow up under the shingle. I mean, they will rip the shingles all apart. So this definitely needs to be addressed, needs to be trimmed back and get it off the roof. If we were to look at a full replacement, something I would do right here, you have a pitch of 2.5. That's a very low pitch. It's so flat, the water just sits on it for longer and is allowed to back up under the shingles a lot easier. So I would recommend like a rolled roofing here. I can explain that more in detail if need be, but rolled roofing on these low sloping pitches. Here's just the condition of some of your shingles. You're starting to see some tearing and some blistering, lots of granular loss. I am able to walk on it, but it's definitely old. You're seeing another nail pop at the base of the chimney. I did not point it out down there, but there's actually a couple on the edge over here. And then the chimney itself, you're starting to see some siding and corner boards start to rot away, so that's pretty rotten. It's very soft. I don't want to tear anything, but you can just see. So that would probably need to be addressed. You know, I can't tell what the flashing looks like, unfortunately, without tearing the shingles off. But, I mean, the chimney is starting to look like it is becoming more and more in rough shape. If there's any leaks in it, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised, but there may not be any. That would be a home inspector type thing to look at. And then finally, just one other quick thing I would like to point out, and this isn't anything to be too terribly concerned about, but I'm not seeing much hail damage on the roof. It is pretty wet. We just had a rain and we haven't had a bad hailstorm lately. Hail is already hard enough to see, but you do have some pretty significant dings on your soft metals here on these vents. So just something to be aware of. I would be more concerned if it was my roof, all the maintenance issues, and then the wind creases on the front. If it's a really good insurance provider, they may step in and cover that. Some are harder to work with, but we can discuss that later. I'll get this video to you and just let you know some of your options and what you guys may be looking at having to do to the roof if you were to buy. But again, this is Adam with ARAC Roof It Forward, signing off. Have a good rest of your night.